Now, I hate short form content, especially stuff that looks like this. It's, oh God, it's bad, right? It's bad. But I wanted to see whether I could teach myself to actually like shorts by just focusing on them for a few weeks, by watching them, by making them, by literally just obsessing over shorts. I honestly think I have destroyed myself physically and mentally by doing this. Enjoy! Before we get into it, I do want to say this video will be split into kind of two halves. First, the nerdy techie stuff, and secondly, more about substance. Okay, for a bit of context, over the past couple weeks, I've been streaming a lot of Dead Space, purely for the purpose of turning those streams into shorts, basically 1 hour into 1 minute. Okay, this game is actually a lot more comforting now that I've got a friend. Oh no, I take it back. Basically, so I had something to practice with, something to learn basic starting And yeah, I made mistakes. I made embarrassing, simple mistakes, as you would when you just start. So I'm going to share some of those embarrassing, simple mistakes with you once I... Now, naturally, I'm going to be using gaming as an example, but I assume you're smart enough to adapt it to other stuff. I assume you're not an idiot. So yeah, shorts. Okay, so this is like the typical gameplay layout of a short. First off, phone, got our gameplay, and then somewhere in the top here is our webcam, and then also the subtitles. Normally plonked down at the bottom. And that's your typical gameplay shorts layout, and that's how I started. However, there are two areas of the screen that you need to avoid putting stuff on. First off is the thumb dump. Down here where all the gubbins is. All the information's always at the bottom. Don't put anything down there. It'll get covered up by descriptions. Don't put stuff down there. Secondly is notch value at the top. Every phone is different, and you don't know what the situation is up here nowadays. And because of that, there's this kind of area of uncertainty of how much is that gonna go? That's a problem. Already, subtitles at the bottom, you can just see that's not gonna work. So the first change I made to my shorts was moving the subtitles up. But there's still a little issue of the face cam. Let me... There you go, that's your typical Let's Play face. Oh no, Notch Valley. So yeah, the second thing I fixed was moving the camera down so the face doesn't get lost in notches and all the gubbins up the top. So that brings us on to the eye zone, the center of the screen. It's the peripheral vision of the phone screen you can see while you're staring dead center at the screen. And honestly, I think that's where everything important should be. I do have a feeling that this is actually bad for attention because it makes the viewer do less work. So maybe it's actually bad for shorts, but quality-wise, I think it's better. And now, hypothetically, everything of interest should fit within the eye zone-ish. I mean, it's a gradual zone. It's not a hard cutoff. You get what I mean. You get the point. It's all kind of, it's more, everything information is it's all more central. I mean, I think this version's better, but you tell me. Now, I've come to accept that subtitles are just a part of short-form content. Some people will be scrolling without audio. Some people be crazy. And I used to think I disliked subtitles, but I realized it's just subtitles that look like this, which are I just find cringe. I think they just look like they're for kids. But I did find a style of subtitle, of captions, that I do like. And the first time I saw this style was from 100 Thieves Lou on Instagram, who's doing daily vlogs and just having one-word captions, basically, center of the screen. Minimal, unobtrusive, clean, looks good. Now, there are two reasons why I like this style of subtitle. One, it's easy to read while looking at the whole image. You can still see what's happening while reading because everything's in peripheral, captions are in the center. But the second reason, which may be more relevant to me, is kind of like Word Runner. Basically having that fixed focal point for each word as it flashes up makes it quicker to read. And yeah, that may be more impactful for me because I'm majorly dyslexic, but you know, still quicker to read for everyone. So yeah, having a fixed point to look at for subtitles, keeping it quick and easy to read. With that said, there's an exception to this, which I also like, and it's from my boy Tommy Bates, who does animations, and he has subtitles kind of follow the characters across the screen. And I think that's another cool way of doing it. As long as it's, again, relatively small, but following where the eye needs to be to follow the action, I'm cool with that as well.
These have some zero effort content because this app doesn't care when we do put effort. Hello, these have some zero effort content. Hello, these have some zero effort content. Hello, these have some zero. Hello, these have some. Hello, these have some.
So yeah, like I said earlier, I've watched a lot of shorts for research, and I've loved and hated my time. I've seen a lot of new interesting stuff, and each time I scroll I think, oh, this is interesting. I have a little bit of dopamine, and then I keep scrolling, but I never remember any of it. I never remember what I've seen. It's all gone within the next minute. But there was one short, or one series of shorts, that has stuck with me.
This is my favorite photo in the entire collection.
Logan Paul. Logan Paul's 99 Originals.
People have killed people's pictures like these, bro.
Now, the concept for this series was Logan Paul would take 99 Polaroids over 99 days and sell it as a collection.
Stop thinking it's the only thing I care about. Each picture is an NFT.
We're gonna ignore the fact that it's an NFT collection. Just move on. We'll just focus on the art for now. So each picture has its own little story of how it was created. And then each story is kind of packaged up into a short. It's a cool concept. It's a fun, creative piece. Basically, you can stumble onto any of these shorts at any time. It has its own self-contained narrative, but it's also part of a bigger picture. I think that's why it stuck with me. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that I feel like short form content should, yes, be its own self-contained little narrative. You should get the satisfaction from watching a short. It should give that dopamine hit. But I think where the success is where it sort of also invites you into like the creator's world and invites you in for more. If you want more, if you enjoyed what you see, it leaves it open-ended for you to discover more from what you just watched. There's this clip from the Colin Samir podcast, which I think explains it in slightly different words. So
there could also be something where you go, if you want to see what happens next, I made a long form video on it on my channel, right? And they think about, are there worlds where you can play with your concepts where something's so interesting that the first 60 seconds is like, that's a really cool story. I could be satisfied there. I'm done. That's all I wanted. But if I want more, there's an opportunity to go long form.
And this is a new sort of quick way of getting people to actually watch the stuff that matters. I guess that's why I'm really chill with like podcast clips, because you don't want to just commit to a podcast. Long form content, you don't know when the good stuff's going to happen. It could be really good, it could be really interesting, but it's hard to commit to something that's quite big without a guaranteed quality check. And the same with like streamer clips. I'm quite happy with like streamer clips as shorts, because it's like, well, streams are long form content. It's a different vibe. You need to know. On the opposite end, I guess that's why I'm so anti like trends and just people copying people and doing the same thing as everyone else, because, oh, it's trending. And there's just no creative thought put into it. And it's just, oh, I'm just doing a short form thing because I'm doing a short form thing. That's what I dislike about shorts. It's the lack of care. It's the lack of substance. It's the lack of substance.
I got a question for you.
Yeah. Are we in the deep end? Is that the question?
Well, part one is, are we in the deep end?
The answer, yes.
So yeah, I still am not a fan of short form content, but I haven't given up hope. I still think there's a chance in years' time, short form content could become good. But for now, the way the platforms are kind of set up, it's just, it rewards the pump and dump scheme. It rewards getting volume out. So for now, we're doomed. For now, we're doomed. I'm really hoping that platforms like YouTube and Twitch will create systems which allow short form content to basically serve as hooks for the longer form stuff. Clips to discover podcasts and highlights to find live streams. But until then, just kind of naff, innit? It's just a bit naff.